also got the dice cost associated with it in ashes. So you're encouraging poor trades in your favor.
Yeah. So I'll mark that as wrong for me. I think everything else we were even on. I think that was it. That was the only one. Frostbite. So Frostbite, we both said no.
I think we were correct.
Yeah. It's a neat little card, and when I first saw it, I thought, "Wow, this is a really cool card. That might see uh, some use in certain decks, but even then, it's just like first card that can be cut. Yeah, we'll cut Frostbite.
Yeah, it's definitely a card when you see it at first and you think, man, this card, I can do extra damage to the face with this card. This is like, when you're coming from core set alone, you're like, man, this gives me more ways to deal direct damage. This is awesome. And then you play it and you realize it's just way too slow to be practical.
Yeah, yep. Especially considering that Fire Archer does the exact same thing, except you also get a body.
Chain of Revenge does the same thing for free
Right, Chain of Revenge
after
does the
the
same
first
thing for
payment.
free. Um, what else am I thinking of? I mean, of course, you also have EVs as well, and the Violinist pings, and the Gilder as well. I mean, of course, Gilder you can't target the Phoenixborn, but even then. I was actually thinking that it would find use in Jessa, but honestly, Jessa doesn't really need any more um, ping damage because she's already got her ability anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Next up, summon Ice Golem. So summon Ice Golem, we both said no, and I believe the reason why was because of Ice Trap, which will come up in just a little bit. But yeah, do you still agree?
I agree. I think it's just it's too expensive is the other. I mean, the other reason is it's too expensive. I
Yeah.
realize now. Two nature dice and a basic 3 dice for a 3/2 that can get ice trapped is not the best. And also, you have to play pretty much have to play Rin if you're gonna play Ice Golem is the other reason.
Yeah. Yep. Just for that the free ice buff.
Yep. But hey, you can body invert an Ice Golem and then it's a 2/6. Sorry.
Wait, would it? No, I don't think it would be. Cuz
It's the printed values, so it's got
yeah.
2 attack and 6 life. Or if you, I'm assuming you skin
Wait,
morph it
it's
at that with the ice buff.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
assuming
yeah,
it's got an
yep,
ice buff
yep.
attached.
Yeah. Sorry, I got so confused for a second.
Yeah, I skipped that. I assume if you're playing Ice Golem, you're ice buffing it with Ren because you're, and that's the other part I didn't like about it is like if you're playing Ice Golem, you're forced to use your ice buff on the Golem, which means you're not ice buffing anything else, so you can't leverage the strength of ice buffing a unit that your opponent has already committed 2 damage to. Like if your opponent committed 2 damage to Hammer Knight and you ice buff it, now if they don't have the dice to finish it off, they have to. Then they're in a bad spot because the Hammer Knight's gonna recover.
Recover. Yep. Exactly.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Oof. Oh boy. Oh baby.
Frostfang. Frostfang, we both said no. And I think we all know the reason why. That that one life. Oh.
That song. That beautiful song of sorrow.
Yes. And it's not even the song anymore, is it? Like you also have
No.
Hammer Knight, which can aftershock, which places wounds, and detonate also places wounds.
Bomber.
So
Not only that, it's that you have to invest a lot at the moment to make this thing strong.
Yeah.
One attack, one life is not doing anything for you.
No.
So you're gonna have to invest other cards or dice into this guy. And if you're gonna heal it with rapid healing, or I guess this is a gal, if you're gonna heal her with rapid healing, you're gonna have to spend more dice. So she's expensive. She's got expensive taste.
Yeah, which makes sense that we haven't seen her very much. Though I guess
We I think Charm is probably the best. Charm Nature mix would probably be the best fit for Frostbang in my opinion. Because you can do the Charm buff
yes.
on it.
Yes.
But then still, it's a lot of commitment. I guess a 2-2 battle advantage for. So would you? I guess the question becomes: would you pay a frog and a snake for a 2-2 battle advantage? I don't know if I would. Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, for that same cost, you could also get Silver Snake if you're playing Mayoni. And I mean, it's still, if you're going against Jessa, it's still fearable.
It's that same cost you can get a bear after you've had the book down. So.
Yeah, same cost, you can get a bear as well. Yeah. Um, and then there's so much
Yeah.
less than that cost too. Well, actually, Gilder. If you
I
think
think
about it
I
too,
don't know why they
Gilder.
made it cost a frog. It's not. I mean, even if it cost you a leaf, would it be played? If this so like if this cost was adjusted to just be a class nature, would people play it?
I think that's what the errata is.
Because I think if it was a basic die, I think you'd see it played a lot more actually. Because there's no color restriction anymore. But and I don't know if you wanted to make it that widespread. If this was just a nature class, would you play it? Maybe? I don't know.
No, I honestly still wouldn't play it.
Probably not still.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Because, I mean, at least, because something similar, almost similar, Anchornaut, one basic, you play it, and you get to deal one damage right off the bat, right? And with Frostfang,
Yeah.
you have to invest in it in order for it to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with at least with Anchornaut, if it dies, it's not really, it's already dealt that one damage. With Frostfang, you either have to try to keep it alive or you have to attack right away with it. And, you know, yeah. So I don't think
Bob
it's
says,
really that.
trust me, it needs to cost a frog. And then, so he knows stuff we don't. Maybe Nick is right. Maybe strengthen Frostbang is the play. You have ceremonial and you have nature, so you can bring it back and play it again. That frog cost is just making it too restrictive, though, Bob. Man, if that was a leaf, that'd be more reasonable for recurring it. But having to meditate for the goat to bring it back and meditate for the frog to play it, I don't know. That's too rich. She's got high society taste. This one, high magic taste.
Let's move on down. Heyo! Ice Trap!
Heyo. We said the fact that this card existed was defining the meta. It didn't even have to be played, just the fact that it existed.
Yeah. And yes, it we both said yes on it. And boy did it change a lot. I mean,
Yep.
big reason why Black Cloud Ninja isn't played, big reason why Ice Golem isn't
Golems.
played. What else? I mean, you still have other things that you can play.
Very good card to keep Brennan down.
Yeah. Yep.
Very good answer to Jaguars, which is the reason so Airdog got a little weaker because of that.
Yeah. And I mean,
And Hammer Knights got stronger.
That's true. Even Frostfang. I mean, if they have to meditate and spend a power die to bring out a Frostfang, and then you ice trap it, they just that sucks for them. So yeah, that's not really much else that we can say about Ice Trap. Okay. Deep Freeze. We actually said yes on Deep Freeze.
Yeah, I don't know if we were right about that. And probably not.
Yeah.
It's a neat card, but it's definitely not meta-defining.
So I tried out Deep Freeze in plenty of decks, and my most recent iteration was a 7/3 Aerodel Nature Illusion. I put Deep Freezes in there, and it just did not work. I mean, it worked somewhat, but there were better things that I could do. Yeah, it was really something that...
The best use for Deep Freeze, in my opinion, is if you're not running Ceremonial, it is an answer to a round 1 Hammer Knight Ice Trap play. Because if you're running Ceremonial, the best answer for a Hammer Knight up against you, truly one of the best answers, is to just regress the Hammer Knight. It can't be stopped. It's guaranteed that Hammer Knight's not doing anything to you.
But what about...
What Deep Freeze... Deep Freeze has that same ability, though. If you Deep Freeze a Hammer Knight, it can't be stopped. It's not going to hit you for a few rounds. So what it lets you do is it lets you put down a book. It lets you summon a conjuration.
I mean, unless
it lets you put out blockers.
Unless they're playing Rin and they just put an ice buff right under that Hammer Knight, you could also Molten Gold it.
But there's answers to Molten Gold because there's control units you control. Golden Veil. Most people aren't playing that, but
yeah, most people aren't playing Charm anyway.
And then Molten Gold is if you Molten Gold the Hammer Knight, which isn't it's not a bad use of Molten Gold. Don't get me wrong, but it's a one fewer Molten Gold you have to close out a game. Whereas if you use Deep Freeze, you can kind of buy yourself time to come up with an answer or put out blockers. Yeah.
But I think a lot of what we see is most people just kind of put out their own Hammer Knight to answer against the Hammer Knight.
Yeah, it's not a bad answer. Ooh, Nick Conley says that one of his friends keeps a Deep Freeze and plays it last in his first 5, so that they don't have a blocker next round. That's tricky though, because you have to make sure that you have more main actions than they do.
Yeah. Unless you pass a couple turns, right? I mean, you wouldn't be...
It's so dangerous to do that.
I know, it is. It is very dangerous. That's true. But if you're going to be going all in, if you think that you can completely tear them a new one round 2, first turn, right? That might not be that...
You'd have to time your passes really well.
Yes.
You'd have to time it at points where you're like, I know they're going to take another action.
Yeah, I actually really want to see Drake's Maoni deck. Because it's just, looking at it, it looks so weird. Right?
Yeah, it looks weird from the outside. It looks weird, but it also kind of makes sense to me in a weird way. It doesn't look it doesn't look consistent to me, but it looks, the cards all make sense,
Right.
because they're all answers for all the different things out there. I just don't see how you get consistency out of it.
All right. Last card in Rin's deck. I think we all know what it is. Summon Frostback Bear. So this card.
We were wrong. We were praising this card. No, we both said this card was garbage, right? That's what we said. We said no one would play this card. It's useless.
And we said everybody was gonna play Black Cloud Ninja.
That's right.
Black Cloud Ninja stops Frostback Bear. I mean,
At a low cost of 4 dice.
yeah.
So you spend 4 dice, and then your opponent has 2 extra dice to spend now to cancel with a bear.
And they
Guess what they're gonna choose those 2 dice on? Picking your ninja.
They're gonna spend that 2 dice on Freezing Blast. That's what they're gonna do.
That's the best way to kill the ninja. So bear is amazing, right?
Bear is amazing. I mean, look at that! Look at that summon book with the bear on the front. Yeah.
I'm looking at these and oh, so should we cover bear and just say everyone's running bears pretty much? If you're playing nature, you're probably running bears.
If you're running nature, and you're
bears
not
are gonna
running
be here to
bears,
stay.
I mean, you'd have to
Yeah,
have
but
a
interesting deck.
Yeah, you'd have to have a pretty different deck in order to do that. There's no reason not to. I guess if you only have like two nature dice.
Yeah, that would be the reason.
Yeah.
If your nature's low. I mean, these guys aren't gonna go anywhere soon. They'll be around for a long time.
All right. Okay. Bob's trying to be a smart ass. Yes. If you're Brennan, you don't want to run bears.
Yeah, bears don't play well with Brennan. That's true. Their names are too similar. I'm gonna make a bear Brennan deck now. That's it. Taking it to Gen Con.
If you have I think you could fit it in if you're like Rin or something like that. I think Rin does BDR use 3 or 4 nature? Can't remember.
4.
4. Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. You could probably fit it in though.
That's what she. Never mind.
Zing.
Zing.
All right, so let's tally this up. We've got let's see. So I was wrong about Chain of the Dead, Dread Wraith, Crystal Shield, and Deep Freeze. And then you were wrong about Chain of Protection, Dread Wraith, and Deep Freeze. So that's 3 to 4. Oh man.
I win. Yeah. The spike
Damn.
in me is happy.
Damn you, Crystal Shield.
Hey, we're not bad though. I mean, that's 16 out of 20 cards for you and 17 out of 20 for me. That's pretty good.
That's
Pretty good record. I mean, judging by that record, everyone should, when they watch our preview coverage of Victoria and Leo, they should believe everything we say pretty much.
Yeah.
Because we got a good record here so far.
They can believe 85% of what you say and 80% of what I say. I think that's how it goes.
Exactly.
Right?
The tricky part's gonna be deciding or knowing which 15% or 20% we got wrong.
Guys, Glowfinch
So I'll
sucks.
be right back.